Thanks so much for coming to Goddess Garden, where you grow, flow within and out. And you welcome peace within you, and you transmute that energy out. Let's take a moment to just breathe in that good prana. Slowly breathe it out. Okay. You got to do that every day. But let me just tell y'all what I'm coming here for. Wait. I'm coming here to take y'all along with me to do a harvest on the brassicas, because I see that the hollow queen bug is here, and I want to make sure that it is not on my other plants. So I'm going to harvest all my brassicas, but I'm going to do a cut and come again. So basically it's just a snip and then just harvest, and they're going to come back after, I don't know when it does come back. And also I want to open up the airflow for the plant too, because of one, pests like to hide in between the leaves. So I want to make sure that I want to take my harvest before they even take it, and I want to decimate that hollow queen bug that looks like a big ladybug, and also the aphids. But the ladybug's literally been doing its job for eating those aphids, but I've been blasting them off, blasting the aphids off, blasting the aphids off. So, all right, come on, y'all. Let's go do a harvest. Let's do a harvest. A harvest. A harvest. Ooh, check this out. I got the primrose right here, but I want to do a harvest on the collard greens right over here, because I'm going to open this area up for some airflow. The brassicas was not looking like this at first. They were looking way worse because of there were a pest issue. They were looking like, no, they wasn't looking like this. They were looking worse than this. The pest was the aphids. I did blast them off. However, the what you call that? The ladybug literally been coming in and literally eating all the aphids. So what?
Aphid.
No, you don't toss it back. You know, you gonna toss it on the ground. Cause look at it. Look at it like you got aphids on here too. So I'm gonna toss this on the ground. I got majority of them. And same thing with this one. Look like I don't want this one. Or you could put it back in there, because the ladybugs like to,
Okay.
you know, that's their dinner. Always inspect your plants, because if not, look at this one. I don't want this one. This one looks like it was infested with aphids. This area was heavily infested with aphids, like really, like a whole lot. But came in and did what it's supposed to do, which is the ladybugs. Don't want that one. Where those brown spots is at, those dark spots was at, those where the aphids was at. See, here go aphid right here. You don't necessarily, if you want to, you could literally still eat it, but you just have to clean it and then cook it. But don't quote me on this. Like I always say, make sure you do your due diligence. I'm gonna chop all my harvests up, and then I want to put them in the freezer. Oh, it is. I'm just gonna snip it.
now.
Oh yeah, that one's literally filled with aphids too. Up
I
until
know. Oh, there's a lot of ladybugs. 1, 2, 3.
this
Four.
is mustard.
5.
There's aphids on here. I haven't grew a lot of mustard. And at that, it's those little beetles. It's like a black little dot, black little bug. They love mustard. That's why you make sure that you gotta wash your produce before you eat it, and also you want to make sure that you wash your produce before you store it too. All right, if you see over here, look at that bouquet of collard greens. However, if you go underneath, I do start underneath because those are the older leaves. You see, those are the older leaves, and for the collard greens, some I just literally just take it and do a chop and drop. Take and do a chop and drop. You gotta make sure I inspect my leaves. There is one aphid. I knew it was aphids over here. As soon as I see a ladybug, I know it's aphids. But guess what? I'm going to take this and I am going to clean it really good. I can't be around here just like keep on throwing away my produce. If it's heavily infested, yes. If I see one, no. Oh, look at the leaves. They're so pretty though. They're really pretty. Collard green. Collard greens and pinto beans. Look at the spider. I don't know, you guys. I'm gonna let y'all have it. Put those nutrients right back in there. I don't know if y'all noticed, but collard greens is a superfood, and if you have a lot of them, you can actually use it as a fertilizer. So like you could compost it into place. Chop and drop. What I'm doing right now is gonna put those nutrients right back into the ground, right back into the soil, I should say. We got another ladybug. Gotta make sure that I wash all of these collard greens. Also, I want to tell you all is that usually when you see pests in your garden, literally it's just a imbalance of the soil, something just off. So, but when you start seeing those beneficial insects, those are the ones that literally it's balancing out the soil. Everything has to deal with the soil. So, like it just stated is that it's an imbalance in the soil. Would I recommend a soil test? No. They didn't have soil tests back then. No, I'm just being honest with y'all. Go ahead and y'all can waste y'all money and don't do that. I ain't gonna tell you what you're gonna do with your own money, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can observe your soil and put what's needed right back into your soil. Cause those so-called weeds literally tell you what your soil is missing. Those so-called weeds will tell you your health of your soil. I don't want this one. I got a strawberry plant over here. That's another reason why I'm opening up this the flow of this airflow. And I just want to harvest before these pests get to them. All just doing chop and drop. The most thing I actually have in my if I don't rinse them off before I bring them in the house, is actually spiders. So I gotta make sure I rinse these off before I bring them in the house, because I do not like spiders. I don't like no bugs in the house. It's just nasty. So this is what I was talking about with the cut and come again method. And this is how some people actually grow their plants to be like tree collars, by harvesting them in this type of way, in this type of method. Did I want these? I don't think so. This is my collar harvest so far. They're imperfect, but oh, look at the cabbage moth. It's about to come on here. That's another thing, is that those things are out. A lot of people say that the reason why your plant may be target, like the cabbage moth is not necessarily a pest. There is a pest that I may call that will literally decimate your plant, which is the harlequin bug. But the brassicas those brassica moths, those cabbage moths, they don't necessarily decimate them, because I had mine actually come right back. They just eat on them. They're hungry. There's no different. There's just like the same as like the other butterflies, the ones that feeds on dill and fennel. So they don't decimate the whole plant. They just come in and eat. Also, I must say, when I'm harvesting, after harvest, and I'm storing them, you can't can collard greens up. I mean, you see it at the grocery store, you can can them up. But when I freeze them, I do not blanch them. I don't know, I don't like blanch. I don't like blanching my stuff. I mean, you could do your due diligence on that, but me personally, I prefer not to blanch. I just wash, clean my greens, and then store them in a bag, in a freezer bag, and then put them in the freezer. I know. So over here, this is the Alabama blue collar. They are flowering. However, I may not take I'm not gonna take any, but the ones that's the leaves look really beat up because of the aphids, I will just do like a chop and drop because check right here. There are so many ladybugs around that's literally doing what it needs to do. So, and also, the little roly-poly thingies, those gonna eat these chop and drops also. So literally, when I talk about feeding the soil, building up your soil, your healthy soil, you want healthy soil for you can have healthy big plants. Spacing does not necessarily matter. It's about the health of the soil, and that's what really matters. Because you could compact your plants, but if your soil is unhealthy or if it's not balanced or whatever the case is, then you just only going to get a smaller harvest. But a harvest is a harvest. That's how I look at it. And I always say is that to compact them because of you want to make sure that your soil is not bare, like how mine is bare right here. So I'm just doing a chop and drop. I'm just feeding them little roly-polies. Cause they'll just eat the leaves. And they do a real good job at feeding this. They could do a really good job at eating these leaves, decomposing them. Harvest the collard greens on this side also. All right, this is 4-hook Swiss chard. Nothing really goes on Swiss chard, so if you want to grow a green, you can do your due diligence on whether you can be able to intake Swiss chard, because some people say that it has something in there. I don't know. I really don't know, and I really don't be caring, but just do your due diligence if you can be able to eat it. I don't know. But like I stated, is that nothing really touches Swiss chard, and Swiss chard can be able to withstand the heat. It can be able to withstand the cool weather, and always tend to move forward, continue growing. So Swiss chard is a really good one to actually have. So if you're not familiar, they are part of the beet family. And I have this one in my garden since for a whole year. So this one is 4-hook Swiss chard. 4-hook giant Swiss chard. Mine is not giant because obviously this is my in-ground garden over here. So pretty much I'm just building up the soil in this in-ground garden. I truly like in-ground gardening better. It's just my personal reasons. It's like literally you working with nature, you know, rather than I don't know. It's just like an organic field when you're gardening in ground. So I did a lot to this soil that's in ground. So it's slowly progressing, and slowly it's actually coming alive. It's alive now because it actually has a lot of microbial life, a lot of those beneficial insects that's in here, and it actually has a lot of worms in here too. And those roly-polies, because those things actually feed the soil too. They can't eat your plants up though. Not gonna lie to you, because I had my share of transplants that got eaten by the roly-polies. So what I did is that you just gotta feed them. They hungry. And it's just literally nature just telling you it's an imbalance in the soil. to a certain extent. Healthy, like I see this that like also growing things in season too. That's another thing. Growing them in season, and it may be an imbalance in the soil. If you can see all of them, can you guys see that? There's a lot of really polies in there, and I do a lot of chop and drops for them, but I can stay off of my transplants. All right, so on to the green glaze collar. I have to open up this area because the green glaze is like literally leaning into this walkway area. So I'm just gonna harvest all of the green glaze and they're gonna come back. Hey, y'all, they're gonna come back. All right, this completes the harvest for the collard greens, and I did a lot of chop and drop over here, and all my other collard greens I did a lot of chop and drop. They were being infested with aphids, so, and also just leaving it to nature, which is the ladybugs, the spiders, and everything like that. It's gonna add more nutrients in the soil, feeding the soil, because you got to feed the soil. So I got all of these vacuum sealed, well, not vacuum sealed. I sealed them in a freezer bag, and I got 6 bags of collards and a half bag of the Swiss chard with 5 little leaves of mustard. So this is what it's looking like. Now I'm about to just go store these in the freezer. So this is everything that it was made. Some of the stuff is not from the garden, but some of the stuff is made from the garden. Okay, so this is lion's mane. This is a meat substitute. The corn is not from the garden. Then I got the macaroni and cheese, but the greens is from the garden. So yeah, looks super good. Here, let me just try it for y'all, cause y'all be here. Y'all want some? Macaroni good. Y'all want some? You want some? Them greens spicy, but they're so good. Wait. Here go the lion's mushroom.
Mine.
Here.
Mine.
No, yours is right there. Just tearing it apart with my hand. Look at that. Just look at that. Oh, all right, wait, let me just eat it for y'all. That's so good. Oh, wait. Make sure that y'all have a wonderful, abundantly beautiful good day. And y'all let peace flow within you and transmute that energy out. All right, bye.